We're going to start off with our pattern pieces. We have our front bodice pieces, our back bodice pieces, our straps, our leg bands, our front bottom pieces, our back bottom pieces, and our skirt. We're going to start off by taking the straps and fold them in half, right sides together, and pinning along the long side. We're going to do that for all 4 straps. And now you're going to sew along the long sides. So now that we have our straps done, we're going to grab a safety pin, and I'm going to pin it on one side. And I'm going to pull that side all the way through to flip it right side out. If you have a turning tool, you can use that too. My turning tool was just too big. I'm going to do that to all 4 straps. So now that I have all 4 straps turned out, I'm going to move 2 to each side. And I'm going to grab my main front bodice piece and my main liner. Or I mean my front liner, sorry. And I'm going to pin my straps 2 to each side. And now that I've got those pinned, I'm going to grab my liner and I'm going to place it on top of it, right sides together. And I'm going to repin the straps so that they're sandwiched between the main and the liner. And I'm going to pin my arm sky on and my neck on. And now I'm going to sew all of that. So now that that's sewn, I'm going to flip it out right side up, pulling my straps, making sure that I don't sandwich anything and get it stuck in there. And then I'm going to grab my straps and I'm going to crisscross them right now to make the cross in the back. And then I'm going to grab my main back piece and my liner as well. And then I'm going to start and put the liner on the bottom. And I'm going to find that notch and I'm going to pin my straps on that notch. I'm going to do the same thing on the other notch with the other two straps. Now I'm going to take my main back piece and I'm going to lay it on top of our liner, right sides together, sandwiching the straps in there, and I'm just going to pin my two sides and then I'll pin my straps. Now I'm going to sew across. So now that that's sewn, I'm going to open up my back piece so that the right sides are up. I'm going to take my front piece and line my main with my main and my lining with my lining, right sides together, and sew down the sides. But we're going to start by pinning it. Reminder, making sure that our lining is touching our lining and our main is touching our main. And I'm going to pin both sides. Now I'm going to sew down both sides. So now that I've sewn down both sides, I'm going to open and tuck that inside, and then I'm going to pin my triangle pieces and kind of sandwich everything else in the middle. And I'm just going to pin all along that triangle opening in the front. Now I'm going to sew that. So now that that's sewn, I'm going to pull everything out. And the top part of our swimsuit is done. Now I'm going to set that aside. And I'm going to grab my main front bottom and my main back bottom. I'm going to place them right sides together, and I'm going to pin down the side seam and the crotch. Now I'm going to sew the side seams in the crotch. So now that I have that sewn, I'm going to set that aside. And I'm going to do the same thing with the liner. I'm going to grab the liner, front and back piece, and I'm going to place them right sides together. And I'm going to pin down both side seams in the crotch. Now I'm going to sew down both side seams in the crotch. So now that I have my liner done, I'm going to flip my liner right side out. I'm going to set it to the side. And I'm going to grab my main bottoms, and I'm going to leave them wrong side out. I'm going to grab my bodice and my skirt. I'm going to take my liner and my bodice, and I'm going to put my liner right side to the right side of my liner on the top. So my right sides of both liners should be touching, and I'm going to pin at the side seams and then pin around. Now that that's pinned, I'm going to grab my skirt, and I'm going to place my skirt right sides together with my main piece, and I'm going to just pin around the skirt. And now I'm going to take my main bottoms, and I'm going to place them and tuck my bodice inside those so that the right side of my main print is touching the right side of my main bottoms. And I'm going to pin around. And now I'm going to sew those together. So now that those are all sewn together, I'm going to set my swimsuit aside, and I'm going to grab my leg bands. And I'm going to fold them together, right sides together, and pin along the short side seam on both leg bands. And now I'm going to sew down both sides. So now that those are done, I'm going to fold them in half, wrong sides together, and then set my leg bands aside. And I'm going to grab my swimsuit again. And I'm going to grab my leg band, and I'm going to pin right side of my leg band to right side of my swimsuit on both sides. And I'm going to sew my leg bands on. Now that my leg bands are sewn, I'm going to fold my skirt wrong side together up 1/2 inch so that I can hem my skirt. You can hem with a lettuce hem. I'm just going to regular hem. You can hem however you want. But I'm just going to hem this way by folding up 1/2 inch and then top stitching around. And there you have it, the Capri swim.